British victory. Despite fierce resistance from Indian leaders and fighters, the British managed to suppress the rebellion by late 1858. The fall of key leaders like Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi and Tantia Tope, and the capture of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, marked the rebellion's end. Brutal retaliation. The British retaliated with brutal force, executing suspected rebels, destroying villages, and confiscating lands. Many Indian families and communities suffered from the British crackdown, which left a lasting scar. Direct rule by the British Crown. The rebellion revealed the weaknesses of the East India Company's control, leading the British government to dissolve the company. The Government of India Act 1858 transferred all company assets and powers directly to the British Crown, establishing the British Raj. Changes in governance. A new position, the Secretary of State for India, was created to oversee Indian affairs from London. This move aimed to exert tighter control and introduce reforms to prevent future uprisings. Military and administrative reforms. The British implemented policies to prevent future mutinies, such as reorganizing the Indian Army to include more British officers and strategically limiting the number of Indian sepoys. Additionally, they restructured administrative and military positions to prevent another unified uprising. Policy of divide and rule. To avoid unity among Indian communities, the British promoted divisions based on caste, religion, and ethnicity. This policy of divide and rule weakened the possibility of a united front against British rule in the future. Increased economic exploitation. The British tightened their economic control, establishing policies that expanded exploitation of Indian resources for British industries. This intensified poverty and weakened India's economic independence, pushing traditional crafts and local industries to decline. Famine and hardship. Following the rebellion, high taxes and forced cultivation of cash crops like indigo and opium led to food scarcity, contributing to widespread famine. Millions faced hunger and suffering due to these exploitative economic policies. Nationalist awakening. The failure of the 1857 rebellion inspired future generations of freedom fighters. Although it did not end British rule, the rebellion was a landmark event that began shaping a unified Indian identity and desire for independence. Symbols of resistance. Figures like Rani Lakshmibai and Bahadur Shah Zafar became symbols of resistance, inspiring subsequent independence movements and playing key roles in India's nationalistic narrative. The aftermath of the 1857 rebellion fundamentally reshaped British rule in India. While it brought immediate hardship, it planted the seeds of Indian nationalism, laying the foundation for the independence movement that would ultimately lead to freedom in 1947.